She crawls over to you on the bed, straddling your waist. Now, let's put that mouth to good use. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing part 3 of Resident Lover. In this playthrough, I am currently romancing Lady Dimitrescu, so let's see if we can get to the end of her story arc today. The game night you were not aware of starts at 9 p.m. Oh yeah, we were talking to Cassandra and she was talking about a game night. The game night you were not aware of starts at 9 p.m. Snacks, drinks, and games are all set up, each person bringing their own. Angie is mixing drinks and Daniela is setting up the right music for this evening. This leaves you, Cassandra, and Bella standing around, waiting for Daniela and Angie to rejoin. Daniela's two sisters are intimidating. Cassandra is a good head taller than you, but her sister towers over you and her both. Cassandra seems to have this natural magnetism around her, her relaxed posture oozing with confidence. Bella stands more upright, back held ramrod straight, and dour expression on her statuesque face. In comparison, Daniela is a golden retriever in human form, cute, cuddly, and harmless. Cassandra gives you a flirty little smiles, while Bella glares at you the entire time you stutter through a conversation with them. So, how's school so far? Not challenging enough, says Bella. Okay then. I'm excited to meet all the lovely students that have come to campus. Cassandra winks again at you and you feel your cheeks flush uncomfortably. Bella scowls at Cassandra. Must you do that? It makes my stomach turn. Cassandra pulls a face as she mocks her sister. Sorry that not all of us can be heartless bitches. Bella grits her teeth. This seems to be a point that sets her off greatly. If you want to make it a goal to pick up every last STD known to the human race, go ahead. Now Cassandra looks similarly incised. She opens her mouth to respond, but Daniela has finished setting up the music and sidles up to you. Rumi, these are my sisters, Cassandra, who's the campus theater star, and Bella, who runs the student council. You already know about them from Daniela's mom, but you won't mention that you've talked with Alcina again. You don't want to worry Daniela. It's nice to meet them. Angie says, drinks are ready. Angie announces from the kitchenette, and you gratefully hurry over. The concoction she's made smells and tastes great, and you gulp down a few sips. Angie scowls when she has to hand hers over to Cassandra. I'm keeping my eyes on you. I know, it'll be hard to take them off me. She smiles at Angie, and Angie scowls harder. You sense a history behind these two. What had happened last time they interacted? The sisters head over to the couch and start debating over what game they should play first. You stay behind to check up on Angie. Hey, are you alright? I'm fine. Do you press her? Press on. What happened? Angie sighs heavily. Ugh, nothing much. It doesn't seem like nothing much. Angie thins her lips, thinking it over. She opens her mouth once before closing it again. She squints her eyes at you. You won't laugh if I tell you? Why would I laugh? Angie shakes her head. It's just that a few days back, before you got here, Cassandra and Bella both came to help out Daniela with moving stuff in. One of my flowers fell out from my flower crown, and Cassandra tried to put it back in my hair. Angie squeams a little, clearly embarrassed to be bringing this up. I may have overreacted and snapped at her fingers. She had to go on the campus. She had to go snapped at her fingers. I may have overreacted and snapped at her fingers. She had to go to the on-campus nurse because of that. Angie's cheeks turn a bit red to admit this. Just how sharp are Angie's teeth? You try to look subtly at her mouth as she talks, but her teeth just look normal to you. It was just that she made a flirty comment beforehand and I assumed the flower thing was her trying to flirt again. Angie shakes her head angrily. I hate anyone that tries to flirt with me. That surprises you. You had thought Angie was extremely easygoing. Flirting was a big no-no to her, it seemed. You wonder if something had happened or if it was just a personal preference. Have you tried telling her this? She knows. She's working on toning it down around me, she said. Angie shakes her head before you can ask any more. Her frown turns upside down and the bubbly Andrew you know returns. Let's stop talking about serious stuff and have some fun, okay? With a whoop, she grabs you by the wrist and drags you to the table. The game night goes on for a bit. You cycle through several games, laughing and screaming and having a good time. The drinks get drunk, and by the end your head feels light and you have a goofy smile plastered to your face. Even stoic Bella seems to have loosened up a bit, though she has refused to drink a drop of alcohol the entire night. I'll take her back. Bella stands up, holding on to Cassandra, who is red-cheeked and grinning widely. If I don't, she might accidentally fall into someone's bed and cause more heartbreak in the morning. No, I won't, silly. I have my own bed. She slurs her words and pokes Bella on the cheek affectionately. You might not, but let's not forget about dozens of fans you have, or your ex-girlfriends, or those awful stands that creep around the campus searching for you. They might see this as a chance to get some blackmail on you. Cassandra grins. Ah, you do care about me, sissy. Call me that again and I will revoke your credit card privileges. Bella bids you three goodnight and heads out with Cassandra. You help Daniela and Angie clean up the apartment. When all is done, you head to bed, but don't go to sleep yet. It's now 12 a.m. and a bit tipsy from the game night, you pull out your business card Alcina gave you. You glance at her number before carefully inputting the numbers into your phone. What do you call her on your phone? Alcina Dimitrescu. Professor Alcina, or I'm gonna look up what that says. Dominant. Dominant. I don't know. Lady Dominant. I don't know what it means. What do you call her on your phone? Alcina Dimitrescu, I guess. Her full legal name. Boring, but it gets the job done. You stare at her contact on your phone and then stupidly decide to text her. Hey, it's me. You up? Hey, it's me. Oh, or thank you for giving me your number. She likes it when I'm classy. As soon as you send the text, you bury your face into your pillows. Why had you done that? It was too late to text anyone, and even if you wanted to, you shouldn't be doing this drunk. Just as you're thinking of a way to apologize through text to her for doing this, you hear a ping. Your head rockets up and you stare at your phone in your hand. You didn't expect her to text back. It's late, and it's a school night. She seems to be the type to go to bed early, with a full face mask on and curlers in her hair while falling asleep in her expensive sheets while listening to her white noise machine. Yet, a text message from her stares you right back in the face. You're welcome, dear. It's quite late. Make sure to get some rest before tomorrow's class. Okay, you toss your phone into the nightstand and decide to get some sleep. I do as I'm told. The rest of the week passes amiably. I've never understood how to pronounce that word. You attend class, try not to drool over your woman in art professor, and join a few clubs to make some new friends. You end up joining an art club, and one of your newer projects includes painting a mural for the school. Brainstorming ideas for it takes some time, but eventually the club settles on an idea. What idea is that? Something meaningful and empowering, something provocative and powerful, something funny and silly. We're gonna do provocative and powerful. You make it a political piece. It's certainly quite the statement, and you already know some people who will get pissed off by it. The project will take several days to come together. You've been nominated to be the artist in charge of the mural, and along with a few other members, you begin the laborious process of taking the sketches of the mural and making them into a real piece. A few students stop and stare at you as you complete the piece, cheering you and the club on. You barely pay them any mind, nodding at them quickly to acknowledge them before moving on. You want to get this done before it rains on the weekend. You're so focused, you don't notice who is approaching you from behind until her sultry voice comments on your work. That is an interesting mural you're working on. She startles you so badly you almost faceplant into the said mural and ruin all the hard work. You hastily rise to your feet, praying that your face is not blushing right now. Thanks, but it's not all my work. The club's all working on it together. I only see you here today. Figured I'd add some extra touches to it since I had the time. Normally the art club works on this together. You're a real go-getter, and a perfectionist. She hums thoughtfully. You flush at her praise. I wasn't aware that you were quite the artist. I like to draw from time to time. It's more of a hobby than anything else. Do you happen to have an art portfolio? I have some art that I brought with me, but it's not a portfolio. That will do. May I see it? She wants to see your art? But why? It's in my room. I'd have to go fetch them. Can you do this today? I'll be in my office waiting, if so. You nod your head. Sure. Is there a reason why you'd like to see my art? We'll discuss this in my office. With that, she leaves you behind. Look at that smile she had. Look at it. She's so happy. With that, she leaves you behind. You clean up your art supplies and dash back to the dorms. You can't let her down. You have to bring your best art samples. You rifle through your mess under your bed and pull out some pieces you're proud of. Then you rush back to meet with Alcina in her office. Mona Lisa, lesson 5. You knock on the door to Alcina's office before stepping inside. The room is dark and the curtains drawn. The only light source comes from an old lamp on the desk. The walls are lined with bookshelves crammed with old and new tomes and various knickknacks like animal figurines or trees made of amber. The office smells lovely thanks to the incense that plumes up from the corner of the room. Professor Alcina sets down the paper she'd been reading and takes off her cat-shaped glasses that rest on her chain against her chin. She has glasses? This woman is giving you more and more reasons to fall for her. You quickly try to compose yourself and sit down in the chair in front of her. Nervously, you clear your throat. You wanted to see me, Professor? Ah, shit. Why does that sound like the start to every bad My dear, I'd like to see your art. I have reason to believe you are a diamond in the rough, brilliant on your own terms, but need a guiding hand to shape you up. Look at this best mom mug. Look at that best mom mug. You try not to look at her hands at this. Try not to imagine how her hands might guide you to reach new heights of Before you can fall into more degenerative thinking, you hand over the art pieces, all watercolor works. You find that is your favorite medium and one that you have best explored. Alcina puts her glasses back up and scrunches up her nose as she contemplates your art pieces from every which angle. Her hands are sweating and you discreetly wipe them on your pant legs. Why does this feel so nerve-wracking? At last, after Alcina has observed every piece meticulously, she sets them all down. Marvelous work, my dear. I'd like to extend a special invitation to you. That sends an electric bolt through your heart. What sort of special invitation? I have a very keen eye for art, and I've been gathering students who are similarly talented to one another and providing them with the resources to paint or create whatever it is their heart desires. Their art then gets to be displayed in various high-end gallery shows across the world. Does that entice you, my dear? You gulp. This sounds like a wonderful opportunity to build your resume and build a good reputation in the business art world. Question is it for you? You're not a serious artist. Art is just something you like to do on the side. Then why did you major in it? I don't offer this opportunity to just anyone. It would be folly to turn this down. What could it hurt to go try it out? You could always quit if anything. Does my art have to be displayed in galleries? You don't think it's good enough to receive such a chance? As it stands, no. Fear not, that is what the society is for. To help you flourish, to help you attain your best. You won't be alone. There are 18 other talented individuals already there, and everyone works together to help each other succeed. And the best part is, whatever artwork you do sell, you get a commission of. The rest goes to fund the society and the supplies we present to you. The supplies we present to you, yeah. Money? That was a game changer. Being in college meant you were broke more often than not. A bit of money on the side could do wonders for you. I'll join. Professor Alcina smiles. Come with me, dear. I'll show you the space. I think you'll really enjoy it. The way she's like leaning on her desk. You follow her out of her office. During the walk, you bombard her with questions about the society. She deflects most of them, citing that she'll cover it later in a more detailed orientation. You cross the campus to a lesser-used part and stop outside an older-looking building. It used to be the previous library before the newer and more modern one was built. As such, this building stands abandoned, chains on the front door. It was supposed to be demolished some time ago, but never has been. Alcina takes you to a side door that leads into the basement, fishing out a key from her pocket and opening it up. Inside, the hallway is lit with old-fashioned torches. Walking in feels like entering a crypt. And when Alcina closes the door behind you, removing the light from the outside world, it feels even more so like that. You can hear faint classical music playing through the shadows. Alcina leads the way and you follow. The closer you get, the louder the music becomes. You climb a few stairs and eventually you are spat out into a lobby of sorts. It must have once been the main area of the library because the ceiling goes up very high. The lobby was gutted and replaced with a comfortable lounge area in one part of the room, all brown leather sofas with blankets and coffee tables. There's a coffee machine on the table that chugs along, scenting the air with freshly brewed coffee. The other half of the room has workstations set up, mostly easels with comfortable stools in front of them. There are a few students now, painting leisurely on the canvases and not talking to one another as classical music comes in from the jukebox machine by the wall. You have to admit, it seems kind of cool. We keep this society private. I will have you swear to secrecy. Why? If I mentioned it, just anyone would clamber to join. Too many apples spoil the pie. This area is mostly for painting. The floor downstairs has more hands-on art projects such as welding, pottery, and sculpting. Take a moment to walk around and explore the building. I have to check something. She strides off, leaving you behind in this secret world within a world. You feel honored to be invited into such a thing. This piano music. Oh, I wish I could play the piano like that. What should you do? Make a cup of coffee. You help yourself to some freshly brewed coffee, taking a hearty sip. Ah, this is that good coffee, not like the kind they sell at the cafe. Excuse me, who are you? Excuse me, who are you? A nasally pitched voice asks. You turn around to see a girl standing behind you. I'm new here. Professor Alcina was showing me around. You haven't earned that coffee yet. What crack is this bitch smoking? Who are you to decide that? I'm Ioana. Iana. Iona, the star of Alcina's umbrella society. I'm her top earning artist. Therefore, she looks to me to lead the group when she's away. Oh, this Iona girl has a complex. Figured there would be one sprinkled in the bunch. Congratulations on an accomplishment no one asked you about. Iona scoffs. You're starting off on the wrong foot, newbie. I'm watching you. Slip up and you're out of this group. She makes a slashing motion with her neck. She makes a slashing motion against her neck before walking away. What is her damage? What should you do? Check out the lower level. You head down the stairs to see the rest of the secret society and what it has to offer. There is a small kitchen area fully stocked with healthy snacks and drinks. And then there are 3 separate rooms, all dedicated to different art forms, sculpting, metalwork, and pottery. Your hands itch to try new things. What should you do? Speak with one of the artists. You go up to the nearest artist, one that is staring at a drawing of Aspen on their canvas. You recognize the artist from your women in art class. Their name is Finch. Hi. Hi. I'm new here. Your enthusiasm trails off when you notice Finch is staring blankly at the canvas. Woman, pretty. All right then, you move on. Finished, you wait for Alcina to come back. When she does, you have some questions for her. You said this would also be a chance for my art to improve. How? Hours of uninterrupted practice time. Access to other artists who can mentor you, whatever supplies you need. Additionally, I have the world-renowned artists leading workshops here every few weeks or so. Therefore, you can learn from the best. Wow, this sounds so serious. It is. Are you ready to commit? One last question. You said we could earn money? Yes, and I'm afraid that it won't happen for a while. You'll need to improve first, and then, once I deem your art sellable, I'll sell it to my contact at the galleries. Not everything you make will be sent off. I only pick the cream of the crop. The galleries I send your art to are nothing to sneeze at. Art goes for thousands, if not millions of dollars there. Your eyes bulge at this. That much money? You would be eating well for months. I went on a cruise, and they had an art auction. They were selling like original Thomas Kincaids for like $80,000. It was crazy. I don't understand. Like the people that I was on the boat with, oh my, like they actually sold. It was insane. That much money you'd be eating well for months. Your commission rate depends. Sculptures and pottery are harder to sell, so the commission is lower. Art is easier. Who doesn't love a nice painting on the wall? The rate is higher, 10%. That doesn't sound all that much. I can see the disappointment in your gaze. Temper it. I assure you, it's not because I have much of a choice. Supplies are costly, and I do have to give money to my contacts for putting up the artwork in the galleries. It's all very expensive business. That said, what will your verdict be? You nod your head yes. Really, what is there to think about? Either way this goes, it seems like a huge benefit for you, and you'll get to spend more time with her. You know you promised Daniela that you wouldn't, but Alcina is magnetic. There's a charm to her that she oozes, that you need access to, or else you will die of thirst. I'm in. Excellent. I'll see you here bright and early on Sunday morning. Sunday? Why not Sunday? Professor Alcina smiles. Your journey to becoming a professional artist begins now. Woman with a fan, lesson 6. We're like about halfway there, I think. You get settled into the secret society quite nicely. All the artists are helpful and friendly when they're not busy improving their craft, and they offer you good tips. Already your art has improved by miles, and it's only been 3 weeks of consistent work. Time skip, 3 weeks. The only person who seems to have an issue with you is Iona. She'll slip in snide comments whenever you're alone with her, and you do your part to ignore her. She's just jealous of you for whatever reason. Oh, my 2 kitties are in their beds. It's very cute. I'm not gonna show you because my room's a mess, but they're asleep. But next to me is cute. Everyone else likes you. You don't care that one person doesn't. Professor Alcina visits the society on weekends, oftentimes with guest presenters who show you all new art techniques. She herself uses the time to create sculptures down on the lower floor. Sometimes you'll stop by and admire her work. The way that she is into her craft makes it seem like the outside world ceases to exist. Her hands are magic, and the marble is clay in her hands. She's even made see-through fabric possible on her sculptures. Who knew that was even possible? When she's sculpting, it's the only time you see her dressed down. Truly, she looks amazing in everything. You love being in this secret society, if only because it seems to be far more removed from the rest of campus life. You feel more purposeful here, and it's relaxing. In this secret building, homework and parties don't matter. Only the paintbrush in your hand does. One day you venture down to the sculpture room where Alcina has stored her latest block of marble. You wonder what she's planning to make next. You pull the sheets down on a more recently completed work and marvel at the fluid flow of the subject's limbs and expressions. It's a sculpture of a woman in her mid-50s singing. Did you get lost? You jolt at her words, stumbling over an apology. Sorry, I didn't mean to snoop. I just wanted to admire the work that you've done. She does not look mad, but a bit amused. That sculpture is of a woman who used to be my mentor. She taught me almost everything I know today. Was she a famous artist? A singer, actually. I was lucky enough to meet many talented people who raised me up into the woman I am today. What did she sing? Jazz. Does that mean that you also sang jazz? Professor Alcina's eyes grow distant. I did, and for a few years. I had my band and we traveled the road. The world loved us. Why did you stop? Why did you become a professor? I had a grander purpose in life than singing and releasing albums. A grander purpose? To be a teacher? Or an artist? President Miranda needs me here, helping her with the university. She found me while I was on the road and showed me the errors of my way. We've known each other for quite some time. You had no idea the two of them had been friends for so long. Professor Alcina clears her throat and changes the topic. I have many sculptures. I have 3 at home that I've made of my daughters. You have to show me them sometime. She gives a teasing smile. Perhaps when you are not drunk or hungover. You flush. Midterms are approaching shortly, and with that, you have to take a bit of a break with your art practice. You instead devote more time to studying up for your exams. Naturally, your roommates decide the best way to study is in a bar. You don't know how you've let them rub you into this, yet again. 1 drink? You ask as dryly as you watch Angie chug back 2 giant mugs of beer at once. She ignores you, and so does Daniela. She cheers Angie on. The entire bar is watching Angie drink and cheering for her too. Why do I always allow myself to get fooled by the 1 drink line? You instead complain to yourself. Angie slams both mugs down and the bar erupts into cheers. They all congratulate her, and there are a few offers to buy her more. It seems they already know her. How often is Angie here for her to be known by all the bargoers? Daniela smiles at you as Angie leaves to go do shots. Drink up, roomie. Don't be so gloomy. I don't really like beer. I'll order you something from the bar. What do you want? What do you want? Vodka cran. Daniela laughs. You're so basic. Yeah. Daniela, look, it might be basic, but that's probably because it's just good, okay? Daniela returns 5 minutes later with the new drink. You take a sip on it, much better than the beer. You and her spend time trying to talk to each other over how loud the bar is. Your head begins to buzz from the drink. You forgot just how strong mixed drinks can be. The flavor of alcohol can get covered up by the juices, but having 1 drink makes you crave another. You shake your empty glass at Daniela. Daniela goes to get you another one, and then when you finish the second one, she goes to get you a third. You really should not be drinking this much. Weren't you just complaining about how it was only supposed to be 1 drink? But drunk you is a mean bitch and won't stop. More! Daniela does you one better, or worse, and brings over a tray of shots. You black out after the 3rd one. You wake up on silk sheets with a throbbing headache. This scene is all too familiar to you because you've done this once before. And apparently now you've done it a 2nd time. I can't believe I've done this. You bury your head in your hands. Somehow, drunk you came back to Alcina's manor. You really hope this won't be a habit of yours. Mortified, you walk down the stairs to the kitchen where the scent of freshly brewing coffee is coming from. Alcina's at the table, newspaper in hand, when she hears you come in, and she raises a brow. When I said you should come see the sculptures I've made of my daughters, I didn't mean so soon. You flush red. Did you pick me up from the bar again? She laughs. You came to my manor door, banging on it and hollering like the devil was chasing after you at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's what a.m. means, at 3 a.m. I did? You had walked all the way from the bar to her house, drunk and in the cold? Someone had a good time last night. I am so sorry. You squeak out. You cannot keep doing this. I'd rather you be safe. The warm glow fills your chest at that. Help yourself to some breakfast. And could you check on Daniela for me? Make sure she's back safely from the bar too. You nod your head yes and help yourself to some food. You stuff your face while she reads the newspaper. When you finish, you thank her and shyly ask if she could show you the sculptures she has made. If you are already here, I might as well indulge you. She leads the way to the 3rd floor. As you pass the staircase, you notice that she has a portrait of Miranda up on the wall. Why does she have that? Did she paint it for her friend? Miranda's not wearing normal clothing in the artwork. She seems to be wearing some sort of priestess-like robes. Do you ask her about it? Sure. What's the harm? She could say no. Did you make that portrait for the school president? Yes, she asked me to. Why the choice of that clothing? Professor Alcina looks away from your eyes as she replies. Artistic license. Professor Alcina takes you to the spots in the mansion where the sculptures are. And she just said sculptures. When she had said sculptures, you thought that they would just be the body, but these are entire scenes captured in stone. There's one of Bella standing with a proud jet of her chin, wearing armor, defeated soldiers lying at her feet while she holds a bloodied sword. There's one of Cassandra lounging on a couch, lazily drinking from a glass of wine as people grip the couch behind her, fawning over her. Daniela's sculpture is reaching for the sky as hands erupt from the ground, trying to pull her down. Wow. Because you don't know how else to phrase your utter awe and shock at these masterpieces. They all symbolize something. Bella is a warrior, smiting anything that gets in the way of her success, while Cassandra has grown content and well-fed by her success. Daniela is dragged down by hands that wish to impede her from finding her true purpose. Have you shown this to them? They've seen them. Daniela wasn't happy with hers, but I only create what I see in real life. Ouch. Poor Daniela. So much pressure on her shoulders. Should you intervene in their relationship? You feel you might as well. I think you should talk to Daniela. Properly. If you have such high expectations of her, she might grow to resent your relationship with you. Professor Alcina looks aghast at the idea. I don't want her to hate me, she sighs. I'll invite her over for dinner today and talk with her. Maybe we can come to a better spot in our relationship. Perhaps I have been too rough on her. Now, no, I know I've been rough on her, but a mother just wants what's best for the child. You hope this will work out well for them both. Just don't mention me. Why not? She may have, asked me to stay away from you. You sheepishly admit, rubbing the back of your head. Did she say why? Do you tell her why? Yes. She doesn't want you seducing me. Alcina looks incised. I do not go around with the intention of seducing others. I am not responsible for their feelings. Would you like to see my other sculptures? That was... what kind of a whiplash is that? Look at that. I am not responsible for their feelings. Would you like to go see my other sculptures? There's more. These portray rawer and uglier human emotion. I don't tend to put them on display because they might disturb some who see them. Now you're definitely intrigued. She takes you to a room that she has to open with a key. She flicks the light on and you can see it's crammed with at least a dozen statues. You walk among them, taking in their expressions. Angry, frightened, murderous. All of them are young women that look like they're college-aged. I don't find these creepy. I think it's amazing how much emotion you can imbue into them. Thank you, my darling. She locks the room up after you're done examining the statues and then offers you some coffee and some small lunch snacks. It's already late in the day and you have to go back and study. I will come with you to campus. I have to go gather Daniela. Your entire ride back, you try hard not to think about how in this small space in the car, the two of you are so close together. You can smell her heady perfume, and it's making you feel a bit lightheaded. Her knee almost touches yours, and you try to look out the window so you won't ogle at her. She drops you off at your dorm and then pulls out her phone to call Daniela. When you enter your dorm room, you see half-dressed Daniela scrambling to get ready and out the door. She's got her phone pressed to her ear and barely pays you any mind as she zips on her hoodie over the last night's crop top and slips into a mismatched pair of shoes. You really hope the conversation between her and her mother will go well. Angie greets you as you walk in. Breakfast smoothie? She offers you something she's concocted. You take it tentatively from her and sniff it. It smells good. You take a sip and immediately spit it back out. Why does it have vodka in it? Angie whoops loudly, snatching this. Oh, because the party never stops, baby! She goes back to her room and slams the door shut. Teeth rattling bass music begins to blast. Looks like you're studying in the library. Wow. Blue Marilyn, lesson 7. You head over to the library to study. Predictably, the library is packed, everyone cramming last minute for their midterms. You search for a quiet spot that no one has claimed yet and find an unoccupied room. You've just settled down when the door slams open as if there's a raid occurring and Bella is standing on the other end. What are you doing here? Studying? Not in my room, you don't. There's no name on the out. Now. You gulp and pack your things in quickly before running out. Great. Now you have nowhere to study. Maybe you can try an empty classroom? You head into the building housing the art and English department. What? You head into the building housing the art and English departments. On the weekend, it's empty. You try the handles on the doors, hoping to find an unlocked room. As you're walking by, you notice someone in the halls. It's Miranda. She's standing by Alcina's office door, looking annoyed. She's on the phone with someone, talking loudly because she thinks she's alone. And for some reason, you duck behind a corner and listen. Why are you not in your office? I'm aware it's the weekend and our office hours are not a requirement on the weekends, but we have an agreement. I don't care that you are out with your daughter. Your obligations to me and this university are much more important. Miranda's tone is snappish and impatient. Where are the funds? I need them for the next gathering. I don't care if you think we could be spending them otherwise. You don't get paid to think. You follow my orders. Is that clear? Alcina must have given a satisfactory answer because Miranda hums in agreement. Yes. And when you come back, we need to finalize. Miranda's voice fades out as she walks away, heels clacking on the tiled floor. What could they have been talking about? It sounded like business talk, but was it really? Something in the back of your brain tells you that there is more to this than you heard. You spend some more time looking at an empty room, but they're all locked. You decide to head back to your room. Back to your dorm room. Maybe Angie has drunk herself to sleep and you can study there. Back in the dorm room, we find Daniela is there, sitting on the couch with Angie, who is rubbing comforting circles into her back. Oh, girl, Daniela is crying. Daniela is sobbing. Oh no. Horrible scenarios run through your mind. Guilt eats you up. Did the talk with Alcina go bad? If it did, it's clearly your fault. Do you approach her? Ask what's wrong. Daniela, what happened? Daniela looks up at you and wipes her tears with the back of her sleeve. Mom said she'll let me follow her passions. She said I don't have to do the arts anymore, that I can choose whatever major I want. I'm gonna be an exercise science major. It's happy tears. The talk went well. You're so happy for Daniela and Alcina. You sit down by Daniela's other side on the couch and hug her to you. She melts into the hug, sniffling. Angie hugs Daniela from the back, and the trio of you stay like this, clinging to each other. Midterm week arrives, and with it, 5 different exams you have to take. Alcina's is first. When you take a seat in the lecture hall, a cold sweat breaks out on your skin. You know her tests are notoriously hard. Have you studied enough to pass them? You flip open the page and immediately are bombarded with questions. Can your love of art history save your grade today? Answer quickly. You only have 30 seconds for each question. Question 1. An innovation that Manet employed in painting was... that one. Question 2. Which character from Hamlet is depicted in Drowning in an 1852 work by John Everett? Ophelia. Question 3. Which life-size sculptures of half-naked women believed to be created by Alexandros of Antioch, and which piece was moved to Paris from Greece 1820 and lost part of its arms? Venus. I don't know if any of those are correct. You hand in your exam and Alcina takes it from you. She gives no reaction and you have no idea how your exam went. I don't know anything about fancy fine art, okay? I'm not an art major. I play video games. You head back to the dorms and decompress by listening to some music before studying for your other upcoming exams. At the end of the exam week, Alcina puts out the scores for her exams. She's a fast grader. You won't be getting your grades back from the exams until much later. From other exams until much later. You click open the email she has sent you. Your face pales as you read, "Please see me in my office." That cannot be good. You drag yourself to her office and knock on the door. She tells you to enter as you take your seat in front of her, head lowered like a scolded animal. Her face is neutral and it's hard to tell what she's thinking. She takes out your exam paper where there's a big B+ in red is on the front page. You scored the highest out of the entire class! Well done! You glow with praise and with knowing that you've got the highest score. Thank you! Professor Alcina chuckles warmly. Don't thank me, you're the one who studied and did a good job. Moving on, I did want to talk to you about something important. I took your advice and spoke with Daniela. It was very emotional conversation, but I think we are both in a better place with understanding one another. We agreed that for her sake it would be better if she moved ahead and worked on a major that better interested her. Exercise science. Professor Alcina said the major with distaste. I don't understand why she would want to spend time with athletes, training, learning to treat maladies in the human body instead of the human soul, but She is good at it. I'll give her that, Alcina begrudgingly admits. I still want Daniela to be involved in the arts. It's a family tradition. If she could even do one thing. Maybe now that she doesn't feel pressure to learn the arts, she might show more interest in them. You said she played the guitar somewhat. Buy her lessons and she could continue learning while also allowing to pick her hobbies she enjoys. Professor Alcina looks at you and there's a tender appreciation in her eyes. Hello? You speak so wisely. Thank you for offering me genuine solutions. Here, her face grows a bit darker. I've raised this issue with Miranda many times because I truly care for my daughters and I just want what's best for them. But she has only dismissed my concerns. You are the only person that I have talked to that understands how important family is to me. I would do anything for them. Even kill. The last part is whispered out vehemently. Well, this got intense fast. How do you react? Finger gun and wink. No, reach out to her. Boldly, you might get in trouble for this. You reach out a hand and place it over her own, which rests on top of the desk. She looks at your touch, but says nothing. If you ever want to talk about anything, remember, I am here. I'll keep that in mind. She rumbles before you pull your hand away. You leave her office and head out to class, wondering when will be the next time you get to see her. Maybe in the secret society? You can paint her something nice and gift it to her. Homework. Miss Dimitrescu, Part 1. I'm sorry, Ms. Dimitrescu. You're lazing about in your dorm room, surfing through memes on your bed when a text message pops up onto your phone. As soon as you see it's from Alcina, you bolt upright in your bed and open it with a racing heart. Are you free tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.? Are you free? For her? Does she even have to ask? I'm free. Excellent. Then you are cordially invited to my mansion at 7 p.m. for dinner. Please dress accordingly. My driver will pick you up at 6:45 on the dot. Your heart is racing in your chest. She's inviting you to dinner? At her place? Oh shit, do you even have anything nice to wear? You'll have to go shopping and find something nice. What's wrong? Me? Yeah, your face looks funny. Thank you, Angie, for that. Angie comments with a wide grin. She looks over at you from her desk where she had been playing with her pen and attempting to do her homework by doodling flowers all over it. Daniela is watching TV on the couch, but you probably shouldn't say the truth. Angie doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut. I'm supposed to go to some fancy meeting tomorrow for high-achieving students, and I have nothing to wear. You can borrow something from me, or from Daniela. If not, my Aunt Donna has some clothes she could lend you. You're about her size, and black would look good on you. Whose clothing do you take? Donna. But Angie dresses nice. Let me take your clothes, Angie. I'm sure I'll look good in a flower print. Outfit selected for tomorrow, you can rest a bit more easily. Still, this is a big deal. You know it's not a date, but you can't help feel that it's a date. Should you ask your roommates for advice? Which one of your roommates do you want to ask? Daniela. Daniela, quick question. If someone asks me out to dinner, does that mean it's a date? She scratches her cheek. Could be, depending on their intentions. You should probably ask them to make it clear. Yeah, you can't ask Alcina. You don't want to make it awkward between you and the professor. But I'm not great at dating. All of the people I've had crushes on have preferred my mother, so yeah, not a lot of good experience in that department. You have no right to comment on this considering that you're feeling your own feelings for Alcina. My sister Cassandra might have some good advice. She's always going on dates. Daniela calls her sister on the phone and puts it to speakerphone. What's up, Daniela? I'm about to go to practice. My friend needs some help with going on a date. You called me for dating advice? Despite being annoyed about it, she begins to launch into a spiel about what to wear, what gifts to bring to the date, and what to order for food, and what to talk about, what flirtations to make, and how to end the date. Kiss them, thank them for the date, and invite them over to your place. Then you need to Daniela presses the end call button before Cassandra can finish her crass advice. Did that help? A bit. Cassandra gave you a good idea to bring flowers to a date, but where would you get flowers? Angie piped up brightly. My aunt runs a flower shop. It's probably closed at this time, but she'll open it for me. She's really good at bouquets. You thank Daniela for her help and then follow Angie to her car. A quick 10-minute ride finds you outside a quaint-looking flower shop that is indeed closed. Angie shoots off a text to her aunt and the door jingles open a few minutes later. Donna! Hi, Donna. Donna, we have a case of emergency bouquet. Donna is a serious-looking woman with black hair and a bun. She nods her head solemnly as and she lets you two in. Immediately, she sets to work tying on her work apron. What do you need? What do you suggest? It depends on what you want. Different flowers mean different things. What are you trying to convey? What flowers should you get? Violet roses, red roses, not yellow roses, those are friendship. Red roses are like violet? Violet roses for enchantment. And Alcina is enchanting, and in the case it's not a date, it works as a compliment either way. Perfect. I knew it. You thank Angie and Donna for their help and head back to the dorms, eagerly and nervously anticipating the dinner with Alcina. Thank you, Donna. My heart. Tomorrow arrives, and at 6:30 you are dressed and ready, even going through the effort of styling your hair till not a single strand is out of place. You wait by your window, looking out to see if the limo is here. Your hands are sweating and your stomach is clenched. Will you even be able to eat anything? Right on the dot, the black town car arrives, and you scoop up the flowers and run out the door. You get inside the car and try to calm your nerves by looking out the car window and humming a song to yourself under your breath. Look at that beautiful outside mansion. Alcina's mansion seems bigger and more intimidating today, but that's because of your anxiety. You take a deep breath and hold out your back. It's just dinner between two friends. She might not have meant it as a date. She can't even mean it as a date, considering she's your teaching professor. Now, if she wanted to ask you on a date after the semester was over, that would be a different story. You ring the door and the butler opens it up. Some jazz. Wow. Nice. She leads you to the grand dining room. Soft jazz music is playing in the background, and Alcina sits at the head of the table, looking beautiful as usual. She rises up to greet you. I take it the ride here was smooth? Yes, and I brought you flowers. Violet roses. I've never seen this shade before. They are enchanting indeed. She takes the flowers, smells them, and then has her butler put them in a vase of water. You didn't have to bring anything, my dear. Your presence is gift enough. You blush at her words. Would it be considered too hopeful to read more into them? She indicates for the two of you to sit down. The butler comes out with two menus and hands them both to you. There's a menu? There are a few entrees and desserts to choose from. What will you pick for dinner? Foie gras, steak and onions, or clam chowder? I mean, steak and onions is delicious. I don't know what I've heard of foie gras. I just don't know what it is. I'm not that fancy. I live in the ghetto. Foie gras, unlike an ordinary duck or goose liver. Steak and onions. Not foie gras. Steak and onions. You hope Alcina likes onion breath because that's all that's gonna come out each time you open your mouth. And for dessert, strawberry cheesecake, jello with whipped cream, or chocolate pudding. I mean, chocolate pudding is delicious, but I think I'm gonna go with strawberry cheesecake. You hope it'll come in a big slice. The butler collects the menus as soon as you've made your selections and brings out your dishes. The smell of the food awakens your hunger and you begin to eat. You aren't sure what you can talk about with Alcina, but she takes the lead. She's an engaging conversationalist, and you find conversation moving smoothly. Unlike my reading skills. You laugh a few times and regale her with the time that you decided to visit the world after you graduated high school. That is why you seem so mature. You've seen the world and learned from it, rather than sit behind a computer screen. Which country did you enjoy visiting the most? Did you like it best anywhere? Romania. There's too many to choose from. I have no favorites. Romania has to be my top choice. Why? Is it because you're studying here right now? You want to say it's because you're here, but you don't. Yes. Dinner begins to wind down. The butler brings out a bottle of expensive red wine. This vintage has been aged 5 years. It's one that I've bottled myself. You make your own wine? Over the summer when I have more time, yes. How do you think I got this mansion, darling? I thought it was from your music career, from your sculptures, or from your theaters, or from any of the other many talents that you have. Professor Alcina chuckles, lifting the glass to her lips. Wine makes the world go round, especially because my wine uses a special ingredient to make it stand out from the others. Try it. You take a gulp of the wine and your eyes go wide. It's rich and heady. What is that word? Potent. Intoxicating. Okay, you could have just said intoxicating.
Heady.
Heady. It is heady. Heady. Why? It's rich and heady and almost seems spiced without having the flavor profile of spice. It feels nostalgic in a way you can't explain. It's probably just because heady is like a fancy word, and I'm not fancy. This is good. The butler comes into the room, bowing his head apologetically. Ms. Dimitrescu, you have a guest at the door. She scowls. Send them away. I do not want to be disturbed now. The butler looks regretful to announce this. It's Carl. Who is Carl? No need to whine about it. Alcina scowls. Naturally, he would choose the one evening I have something important to show up. Send him in, that way I can get rid of him more quickly. She rises up and you follow after her, going into the main entrance hall. Carl. Alchi, how you doing? He holds his hand out as if to give her a hug, but she crosses her arm over her chest and looks down at him with barely concealed annoyance. This is my brother. Alcina stares with irritation. You look Carl over. He's nicely built and has gray hair and a gray beard. He smells of motor oil and has grease stains on his clothes. He's also very short. Alcina has all the tall height genes. What do you want? I came to check on you. What, I can't check on you? It's been ages. You saw me last month. Exactly. Ages ago. Spit out your true reason for being here. I have business to attend to. He arches a brow and looks at you. Business. Yep, just business. Wine business. He laughs. Did Alcina ever tell you about the time my beer destroyed her wine at a wine competition? Carl. Carl continues on, ignoring the warning in her voice. She strutted up all cocky and shit, thinking her wine would win the year of the competition yet again. I decided it'd be funny to put her in her place, and she joined the competition with my beer, and I won. He laughs again. My day job isn't even to make alcohol. I just fix cars. Carl. She looks increasingly irritated. You wouldn't be surprised if she lifts him up and throws him out the door. Carl wipes away a tear from the corner of his eye. Good memories. But yeah, I came in to check on something. He looks at you. Mind giving us some privacy? You wander off as the two of them enter a study to talk about who knows what. What should you do? What should you do? Check out the third floor, go admire the artwork, or drink more wine. I mean, we've only had like a sip, so let's drink some more wine. You decide to head back to the dining room and imbibe in the wine. Carl and Alcina are taking a long time and you're bored. One extra glass turns to 2, 2 turns to 5, and before you know it, you have a hard time keeping your head up. That was the wrong choice. Alcina returns angry and dismayed at your state and has no choice but to send you home so you can sober up. No! Go back, go back, go back. Oh, I can't. Ugh. I'm fumbling this. Alcina returns angry, dismayed. Yeah, she's going to remember you were misbehavior at dinner for a long time. Shoot. Self-portrait with a thorn necklace and a hummingbird. Deciding what art to make for Alcina will be tricky. I should have gone and looked at her artwork. I should have. I need to remember to save when I make decisions like that. Deciding what art to make for Alcina will be tricky, but you want to make something she would enjoy. What should you make? A mixed medium of that Madame X painting she likes, a pencil study of her, a watercolor painting of her and her daughters. Family is important to her, we know that. You make your decision and set to work. For 2 weeks straight, you dedicate time after classes to finish your work. You know you aren't obligated to make art for her, but you want to. You want to give her something she will like. When you finish, you stride up to her office, and also as an apology for getting drunk at dinner when she was busy with her brother. When you finish, you stride up to her office during office hours and knock on the door. Your hands are sweating and you're nervous. Mom, arms weak, knees weak, arms heavy, mom's spaghetti. What if she doesn't like it? What if she hates it? Come in. You enter the room, and is it your imagination, or does she brighten up a bit when she sees you? Did you have a question about the essay? You shake your head and no, and bring up the art piece from where you had carefully stored it in your bag. I wanted to make something for you. As, thanks for letting me into the society. She takes the piece and her eyes soften as she looks it over. Thank you, darling. This is wonderful. This art piece shows me you're ready to finally start making art for the galleries. Really? Bursts out of your throat in an excited breath. Professor Alcina nods her head. I want you to start putting together a portfolio for me. At the end of the month, I will pick through the pieces and see what we can use. You're finally going to get paid for all your hard work and have your art be displayed? This is exciting. That evening, you scurry back to the Secret Society's building, set up your easel, and with fervor start on your latest project. Because you have headphones in, you don't hear the footsteps creeping up behind you until shadow falls onto your art. You take your headphones off, and with a frown, notice it's Iona. What are you doing here? I'm a part of the society. I have been for a while now, you respond dryly and want to turn back to your art, but she keeps talking. You probably won't be. Your art hasn't improved enough to be sold. Alcina's not going to keep you on. Smugly, you retort. Actually, she just confirmed that I would be starting sales with her soon. Iona's eyes bug out. She sputters. What? How are you already doing sales with her? It took me 6 months to be able to do that. You take immense satisfaction from this fact. Looks like you might be the only one Alcina might not keep on. Iona stomps her foot and leaves. You're now free to work on your art in peace. The next morning, when you get to class, you find a neatly wrapped present waiting for you on the desk. Several students around you look curiously as you glance around to see who could have left it. It must have been Alcina. Who else has such neat handwriting? The note says to open the gift after class, so you put it in the book bag. You sit, impatience and curiosity burning through you. What is in the gift? You run through possible objects, but you can't settle on one. You try to focus on class, but find you can't either. Every time your eyes meet hers, it almost seems like she's giving you secretive smirks. You open the gift up back in your dorm. Ooh, jazz. You open the gift up back in your dorm room and find that it's a necklace made of gold with a delicate chain, a small rose at the end with mimicking thorns on it. It's beautiful and probably expensive. A small note card on the inside says, "Think of this as a small thanks for the art." She didn't have to get this for you. You put the necklace on. It looks nice around your neck. It also makes you feel special. How many students can say Alcina's bought them a gift? You want to brag about this, but because she's your professor, it would not be the best to say anything about this at all. Daniela especially cannot know about this. It will not end well. You'll have to hide the necklace under your shirt. For the time being, you can't help but revel in the feeling wearing Alcina's necklace brings you. You feel like you're hers. The semester is drawing to a close sooner than expected. Finals are coming up and you study for them furiously. You want to get a good grade in Alcina's class. You stay up until the morning hours and resist getting dragged out by Angie to go bar hopping. It's only when finals week finishes that you have time to relax and unwind. You do this by heading over to the Secret Society and continuing working on that art portfolio. Alcina wants it by the end of the month and you do not want to disappoint her. You already have a few pieces in that folder. Unexpectedly, she's there today. She turns when she sees you enter and flashes you a smile. Your heart leaps in your chest. It's 10 p.m. at night. What are you doing here? Checking on everyone's progress with their work. This is perfect. I wanted to show you the pieces I've worked on. Give me a few moments to finish with Finch here. Alcina turns to continue talking with Finch about what pieces they'll be putting up for the gallery. To give them some privacy, you head over to the coffee table and pour yourself a hot cup of coffee. Naturally, Iona finds you there. It seems like she always appears whenever you try to enjoy yourself. Does this girl have a built-in vibe killer? What's her problem? What do you want? What do you want? Well, fixing that nasty attitude of yours is one thing I would love to do. Good thing you're gonna get an attitude adjustment soon. What does that mean? Is she threatening you? Anyways, I just want to tell you that I hope you have a good day. Why did that feel disingenuous? And that you shouldn't worry about being Alcina's top provider anytime soon. She sachets away and really thinks she ate that whole convo, didn't she? Alcina comes over 5 minutes later, having concluded her conversation with Finch. I'm ready to see your art. You take her to the lockers where the artists are allowed to store their works. You find that the door of your locker is unlocked. Strange. Hadn't you locked it? You open the locker and milk begins to drip out of it. The inside of the locker is soaked. The art that you wanted to show Alcina is ruined. Purposefully. Your heart drops to your feet and you feel your face crumble. You had been so proud of this work, too. You had spent hours perfecting it, and it was gone. You swallow thickly and try to hide the shakiness in your voice. I guess someone mistook the locker for a trash can. You give a weak chuckle. Sorry to waste your time. Professor Alcina looks furious. You have nothing to apologize for, dear. It's clear a fellow artist sabotaged this. I do not tolerate this sort of behavior. Who was it? Do you tell her? I don't actually know that it's Ayana. Like, she basically told, but she didn't, so like, don't tell her. Was it Ayana? How did you know? It was a guess. She's come to me multiple times to complain about you. I've dismissed her concerns, of course. Now it seems she's chosen another more dire course of action. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to click that. Alcina scoffs mightily. She looks hot while pissed. Did she truly think she would get away with it? Why didn't you say anything? I didn't want to bother you. This is supposed to be a safe space, a space where you can be supported, not torn down. I'm appalled that this sort of behavior occurred. My sweetling, can you ever forgive me for allowing such a thing to happen to you? It's not your fault. It is. I should have noticed this sooner. I should have been someone you could trust to come to, not to solve this right away. I do trust you. You saved me from 2 hangovers, remember? 3, actually, because I got drunk at her house. You try to inject humor into the situation, but Alcina's temper cannot be swayed. I will handle this. Do not fret. She swiftly turns on her heels and leaves. Alcina's justice is swift and merciless. Less than 30 minutes after you told Alcina about what had happened, spending that time cleaning out your locker and silently mourning your lost artwork, Ayana comes running to find you. I hate you, she screams, tears streaming down her face. Say nothing. That's not what I meant. Do I even know you? You know that is petty of you, but she deserves it. She lets out a frustrated roar and leaves. Good riddance. Alcina comes to find you. How are you doing? What are you going to tell? Be truthful. To be honest, this sucks. I spent hours on my work. I worked so hard because I wanted it to be good for you. And she ruined it all. My dear, you are already so good to me. Alcina's voice is low, almost like a purr. It makes your stomach feel funny. Surely she doesn't mean to say it in such a tone. You feel her hand on your shoulder and you turn into the touch. Before you know it, she envelops you into a comforting hug. Your face presses against her bosom and you can hardly breathe. It's euphoria. You hug her back and the two of you stay like that for a while until the need for air is pulling you back. Chin up, my dear. Whatever commissions Iona was going to receive for her art will go to you now. Isn't that too generous? Think of it as repayment for the art she ruined. In fact, it would probably not even equal the value that your art would have reached. Your eyes bulge out. Is my art really that good? Professor Alcina laughs. I do not take the arts lightly. I would not lie about something like this. Your eyes slip down her neck to where her necklace rests against your collarbone. With the hug, I must have flipped out a bit. She picks it up and examines the glint of it under the light. Roses look good on you. What do you respond? Other things can look good on me too. Ask her, why get me the necklace? Why did you give me the necklace? I wanted to show you my appreciation. You really helped me repair my relationship with my youngest daughter. For that, I can never thank you enough. Alcina looks at the clock on the wall. It's getting late. You should get back to the dorms. I'll wire you the commission money then. Wire me the money? What is this, some sort of illegal transaction? Alcina's face turns stony. What did you say? It was a joke. Her face smooths out. Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to overreact. It's been a taxing day. She places her hand to her temple. You decide not to overthink her reaction. It's been rough. It's been a rough evening for both of you. You head back to the dorms, and as soon as you step through the door, you receive a message on your account that your money has been sent to you. Your eyes bulge at the sum. 5,000 lei. In college student terms, you're rich. What is 5,000 lei? $1,095 US dollars. So, all right, sweet. I got $1,095 US dollars. About. Since finals are over, this means that the semester has drawn to an end. Flying back home would be too expensive even with the money you've made. You intend to use that money to help pay whatever is left on loans once you finish college. The scholarships are good, but there are always hidden fees to account for, and living costs. Eating isn't free, and speaking of eating, you decide to splurge a little on food by taking a few friends and your roommates out to eat at a local restaurant. You end up having a great time laughing over good food and drinks. Angie and Daniela will both be leaving over the month-long break between semesters. Angie's going to help her aunt with the flower shop and maybe go visit her mother Claudia, who's all the way in Italy if she gets the money to do so. Daniela is going on a Euro trip with her skater bros. You'll be on campus, spending time working on your art and improving it even more. With Iona no longer in the secret society, you feel more at ease being there. The campus ends up clearing out, many students disappearing for the break. It almost feels like a ghost town, not that you mind. You'll have time to focus on your own hobbies. You'll miss taking class with Alcina, however, now that the semester is over, this means the two of you can hang out and more accordingly without having to worry about the student-professor dynamic. You do miss her, however. You've sent her a few texts to see how she's doing, but she hasn't responded with more than 1 or 2 messages. Is she busy? She probably is, considering how important she is in the art world. Because you miss her, you decide to pass by her office to fondly remember the times that you'd spent there. When you get there, you see the light is on through the small window that looks into the office. The door is closed. You approach, placing your hand on the handle, when a cold voice stops you. It's President Miranda. And what are you going to do about this nuisance? I'll take care of her, like I take care of everything for you. You've messed this up. If she goes through with this and exposes us, we could stand to lose it all. If only you had controlled her more, then none of this would have happened. Professor Alcina sounds hurt and aggravated. I would never want to lose my secret society. I care for the girls there. I built that place with my sweat, blood, and tears. Caring deeply is your downfall. It always was and always will be. It's why she's able to manipulate you like this. Professor Alcina doesn't say anything to this. Miranda's chair scrapes as she pushes herself up out of the seat. You realize she's heading for the door. What can you do? Pretend you were just walking by. You swivel around and whistle as you walk down the hall slowly. Very casual. Miranda's heels stabbing into the floor, sounding intimidating. You refuse the urge to look around. She walks past you, scowling at you suspiciously. You smile and wave at her, the picture of true innocence. You walk all the way to the dorm room and sit there for a while, needing to calm down at the racing of your heart. Does she suspect you? You wait a little while before you decide your curiosity on what the two of them are talking about is too great. Mind your business, girl, okay? Stop that. You kept doing this with Donna, too. You carefully head back into Alcina's office space and find that the door is left open. Alcina sits at her desk, staring gloomily at the papers on her desk. She looks up when she sees it's you. Hey. You awkwardly start, not sure how to go about this. Is this something important? I'm in the middle of an important issue. She's never been curt with you before. It stings. I just wanted to make sure you are all right. Professor Alcina thins her lips. How much did you overhear? What'd you tell her? The truth. I overheard most of it, I think. Alcina sighs heavily. Alcina rubs her temples. I might as well tell you, since it could potentially affect you and your income. Iona is blackmailing me about the society. She says if I don't reinstate her and give her a cut of money, she will go to the press with me and get me arrested. You can get arrested? But why? It's only a club. It's not just a club, my dear. You're making money off of it, which other clubs cannot. At least, not to the extent that we do in this club. There is a chance that I could get in serious trouble over logistics. Besides, it's an exclusive club. Clubs are not allowed to be exclusive because it can look like I'm favoring students over others. I see. So what can you do about this? Alcina frowns and looks at you. As she does, a look of enlightenment crosses her features. I think you can help me, my dear. Her expression brightens at this. She stands up, hand on her chin as she thinks. Iona hates you, but she could also not resist from trying to take you down even more. If you were to meet with her to give back the money that was previously her commission, that would allow me to meet with her. She refuses to see me in person and only communicates through text. This makes it hard to reason and strike a deal with her. You want me to fake meet with her? Alcina nods her head. She wouldn't expect you'd been working with me. She doesn't think we're close enough for that to happen. She'll show up to your meeting and then I can swoop in and speak with her. You don't have to worry about anything else. I'll do it, but I don't know how well I can pull this off. Alcina gives you a relieved smile. Thank you. You have no idea how important this is to me. Saying you'll do it and then actually doing it are two different things. You feel sick with nerves and rub your hands together. You're waiting on Iona to arrive to the classroom. It's been unlocked with Alcina's key. It was decided that this would be the best place for privacy. The door is open. The envelope of lei sits heavy in your pocket. You look out the window and try to calm your nerves. You got my money? You turn around to see that she's walked in. She does a sweep of the room and, satisfied it's just the two of you, steps in and closes the door behind her. I do, but I just want to know, why are you doing all this? Why are you blackmailing the society? Alcina told you? Suddenly her suspicions grow. You can't have that. You need to stay put so Alcina can have time to come over and finish the rest of this. She told me I had to return the money. When I asked why, she said you were blackmailing the society. That's all I know. Iona scoffs. Right. So I get painted as the bad guy, even though she's running a money laundering scheme using students to help fund the president's pet cult members. Your jaw drops open at this. What? Iona laughs cruelly. Oh, you didn't know? No, you didn't. And you can't tell if she's being truthful or not. Is she just messing with you? This whole school is just one big farce. They recruit students here with their full scholarships and then slowly turn their brains into mush so they'll become cult members. And if they can't convert them, they'll just bleed them dry of their talents till they can't make any more money for their cult schemes. Your stomach turns at this. This all sounds so outlandish. Could it be true? Enough! The door slams open and her powerful voice cuts through the air. She looks pissed. Shut your mouth, Iona. Iona looks scared to be caught, but she doesn't back down. Or what? If anything happens to me, the media will find out. Alcina ignores her and turns to you. There's a softer expression on her face. Sweetling, you need to leave now. I have to talk with Iona. What do you do? Question her. Is everything Iona said true? Alcina's face hardens. Do you think me capable of such things? Do you? You're not certain anymore. All you know is that you care for her deeply. I just want you to tell me the truth. Not now, my dear. You nod your head and head for the door. Don't go. Okay. Extra credit assignment 1. You intend to leave, but something doesn't sit right with you. You dig in your heels, fury building inside you among the swirling maelstrom of anger and hurt. What is she talking about? Tell me the truth, Alcina. Alcina's face falters before she strengthens her resolve. Iona is telling the truth. She rumbles out, unable to meet your eyes. Miranda is using the school as a front for her cult to further her machinations. I know not exactly what she wishes to do, but I am a cog in her machine. I supply her with money for her operations in exchange for a new purpose of life. And that purpose is lying and manipulating others? Are you mad at me? I'm confused and hurt. Why would you do all of this? Professor Alcina sighs, suddenly looking exhausted and burdened with the world's weight. My darling girl, I wish I knew. I thought I was a part of something good, something grand. Mother Miranda promised change, promised salvation for this world. But her methods have become increasingly cruel. I no longer think I can agree with them. Then you need to leave, to free yourself. It's not as easy as you make it seem. Escaping a cult is very difficult, especially when there are eyes and ears everywhere. I'll help you. Why would you help me? Because at this, your voice wavers. If truths are being spoken today, then you might as well spit it out. I'm in love with you. Side note, in my D&D campaign last night, my character has been having this like, will they, won't they romance the entire time. We're on like session 63 or something like that. We just had the conversation, forced upon by the other players, by the way, but that's a whole nother story, where they said that they love each other. It was great. It was my favorite thing I've ever done. It was like, oh, it was so bad. It was like really bad and like my character got a little traumatized, but it's fine. Anyway. A loud retching noise reminds the both of you that Iona is still there. A loud retching Give me a moment, darling. I have to deal with our little troublemaker here. We'll speak later. You leave the room at this, and Iona screeches out, "Don't touch me!" You close the door on the scene and head back to the dorms. Trauma. That's some trauma-inducing stuff right there. You pace around the room nervously, wondering what will become of your future now. A few hours later, there's a knock at your door and you open it up. Alcina stands on the other end. May I come in? You let her in and close the door behind you. What happened with Ayana? You do not have to worry about it. She's taken care of. You need to start telling me the truth from now on. Alcina's face pinches distastefully as if she will argue with you. If we are telling the truth, then I must admit that you are not alone in your feelings. Your eyes widen at this. Despite trying to deny my feelings for you, they hadn't gotten away. You had captured my heart, dearest one. Your cheeks flame red. Alcina likes you back? I wish I had been able to confess under more favorable circumstances, but at least in this manner, everything's out on the table. You know the situation I am currently embroiled in. What choice you make next is up to you. If you wish to never have anything to do with me again, I'll understand. A little cult madness won't scare me off. Alcina raises her brow. A pleased smile, like the one a cat wears when they catch their prey, stretches her lips. I knew you are different. This calls for a celebration. Our first date, if you will indulge me. A date? With the hottest woman alive? You would be insane to turn this down. Leave the planning to me. Be ready for tomorrow at 6 p.m. She leaves with a wink thrown over her shoulder. You can barely wait for tomorrow. Despite all the horrid truths you found out, the fact that Alcina cares for you washes them all away into oblivion. Maybe you should be more concerned about the thing, but whatever. After all, love is blind. Sorry, that's Alcina's voice. After all, love is blind. In this case, it makes you blind to everything but your love of this stunning woman. You dress for tomorrow. Oh, that outfit is back. Look at her. She's so hot. You dress for tomorrow, lamenting your lack of choice in fancy clothing. Alcina comes to the door, holding up an outfit. It's golden and it sparkles. She herself is wearing an outfit reminiscent of the flappers from the 1920s, a fur coat wrapped around her shoulders. I brought you something to wear. Where are we going? She smiles, wagging a finger at you, indicating it's a surprise. You quickly change and she leads you out the door to the car that will drive you to there. The ride over is nerve-wracking. Should you have gotten her flowers or chocolates? But what do you get a woman who had it all? Don't be so tense, darling, she says, tipping your head back, a hand under your chin. You'll wrinkle up your adorable face. Your cheeks flare with heat and you chuckle shyly. We go to the bar? Why? The car ride is mercifully short and deposits the two of you in front of a low, dark building with a bouncer in front. When he sees Alcina approach, he moves aside without a word. The inside turns out to be a jazz club, the air thick with the scent of cigarette smoke. Lights set by the bar cast a bright glow over the bartender. The lower section is full of tables, people smoking and drinking as they watch and listen to the musicians on stage. Take a seat, darling. I will be back with the drinks. Sorry. You sit down at one of the tables, enjoying the smooth jazz that plays. This place is fancy, and most likely the drinks and food will be expensive. You feel bad about Alcina footing the bill, but then again, she probably has the money for it. You're indulging in her, indulging in you. She returns a while later and whispers to you about what the best food on the menu is as you sip on your sparkling concoction. It's sweet, and the bubbles fizz nicely. The two of you make small talk for a while as you wait for the food to arrive. My family is originally from Romania. Grandma moved to the US, but with everything that happened, I moved back. Are you bilingual? I speak many languages. Romanian, French, and Italian. Are you self-taught? No. I had a tutor teach me when I was younger. I gave my daughters tutors too, but only Cassandra really picked up the other languages since they would help her with her acting career. Bella prefers studying dead languages, and Daniela has mastered the art of internet slang. The food arrives, and the two of you focus on it and enjoying the music. Alcina orders more drinks and you find yourself relaxing. The evening ends before you know it and she stands by her car, dark eyes hooded. Care to join me at my manor? The meaning behind the invitation is clear. Who knows what the future at the school will look like, given it's really a cult. Why waste time when time is short? You want this, and she does too. Yes. The car sets off and now a different tension falls between you. Her hand falls on your knee and you can feel the warmth of it sending a trend of excitement trembling through your frame. It feels hot in the car and you lower the window, the night breeze blowing your hair astray. The mansion appears slowly and the tension in the air intensifies. This night will ruin you, of that you are certain, and you couldn't be more eager for it. Wine. Alcina makes a big show of becoming a welcoming host, even if it's clear she won't have the patience for a glass of wine. You shake your head no, mouth dry, her eyes flash. Upstairs. Oh my god, that's so hot. Okay. Her voice is commanding and you jolt forwards to obey her. Jolt forwards to obey... You jolt forward to obey her, following her up the stairs. As soon as you enter her room, she slams the door shut behind you and leans over you, pressing you into the door. Her hand wanders up from your abdomen to your chest, to your neck, and then to your face. She tips it up before realizing she's going to have to duck down a lot in order to kiss you. Thinking better of it, she leans down and lifts you up by your thighs, pinning you to the door. This is so much more in, like, detail than Donna's is. Much better. She purrs and leans in to kiss you. You melt into the kiss, into her touch. She doesn't hold back, demanding the entrance to your mouth. I hate when people describe it like this. She doesn't hold back, demanding entrance to your mouth to slip her tongue in. And it's a very skilled tongue. You can't wait to feel it on other places that need much more dire attention. You hum happily into the kiss, allowing her to take the lead. Alcina dominates the kiss, nipping at your bottom lip, leaving lipstick marks on your chin, down your neck, and to your collarbone. She grumbles with annoyance when your clothing stops her. She fists one hand into the front of your outfit and rips it right open. You gasp in shock at the sheer power behind that move. She is going to absolutely break you. Condolences, you are back tomorrow, and thank you to it for supporting you all these years. Alcina dives back in, leaving her marks everywhere. Soon your pants begin to impede her progress. We're going real. You figure out what's going to happen at the same time as she yanks them down roughly with the rip of fabric. What? Describe it. All the other ones weren't this much of the other with the Donna. We just went home. Like, now that you're nearly naked, she carries you over to a giant bed, throwing you onto it. She drops her fur coat, left only in her dress. Take it off. You manage to croak out. She chuckles. It's not kind. You're not in charge here. She crawls over to you on the bed, straddling your waist. Now, let's put that mouth to good use. I'm not afraid of you. Break may have only been a month long, but you and Alcina have made the most of it. The two of you kept your dates as secret as possible to prevent Miranda from finding out. Neither of you want to think of the consequences if she has seen you two together. Alcina has been busy in between running her wine business and her art galleries. On occasion, she had let you accompany her to the wine meetings where, glasses perched on her nose, she had looked over the numbers and cut down businessmen in fancy suits trying to rob her of her money. Oftentimes, you are what she wants. The relationship is new and exciting and leaves the both of you lying in bed exhausted. Alcina has a voracious appetite, and you are more than happy to provide, even if your back is gonna give out one day. Lounging on her king-sized bed, sheets tangled around the naked bodies is where the two of you can be found now. I want you to have dinner with me. The way she states it implies it would be special, but why should it be? You've had dinner together many times. All right. I want my daughters to be there, so I can introduce us as a couple to them. That's a big step. Very important step. You can already imagine the chaos. You're almost shocked that Alcina wants to do this with you already. Are you sure now is a good time? What if we wait until I graduate college? What if we wait until I graduate college? I cannot wait that long. If something or someone is important to me, I want it right away. Waiting for you to finish my class was an exercise in patience. I'm older than all three of them. Do they have to call me their parent? You might be older than them, but you have no intention of being called that. It would be weird. Danielle is your roommate. Alcina laughs. No, they don't. Just my partner. I don't mind doing the dinner. I worry about the reactions. Alcina's smile drops. She's worried about the reactions too. Instead of voicing her concern, she reaches over and squeezes your hand in hers, silently taking strength from you. Nice. The date of the dinner arrives a few days before break is set to end. The siblings are all back on campus per their mother's orders. You feel a pit yawning open inside of your stomach. The food smells delicious, but you feel like you won't be able to eat any. Alcina herself has only sipped on the wine, and you have to gently wrest the sixth glass from her before she gets too tipsy before the dinner. Bella arrives first, early by half an hour. Alcina whisks her away, and they have a chat in one of the side rooms. So you decided to stay out of the way for now, opting for more reveal-style entrance because it'll It'll be like ripping off the band-aid in one go. Daniela arrives second, right on time. Cassandra arrives last and late, crying out, "I'm fashionably late," when her mother scolds her. Once all the Dimitrescus are settled at the table and starting dinner, given the sounds of scraping forks on plates, you step out. Look at... You feel awkward and nervous as hell, but you love Alcina and you're willing to do this for her. All three sisters look at you, questions in their eyes. Alcina clears her throats. Girls, I have invited you over for dinner tonight because I wanted to announce something important. Alcina holds out her hand and you take it. We are dating. Silence. Not even the sound of a fork moving. Then Cassandra breaks it. Ha ha! You've got game! You don't know who she's referring to. She raises her wine glass at a toast. Congrats to the new relationship. Yeah, I suppose. Congrats. Bella sounds like she couldn't care less, and she turns back to her food now that the initial shock has worn off. The only one that looks heartbroken is Daniela. She's staring at you with so much hurt that you want to look away, but you can't. You promised her you wouldn't get involved with her mother, and you broke that promise. I can't believe you did this. Her voice is tiny and trembling. The utensils in her hands shake. Daniela, we never intended for this to happen. Daniela clenches her jaws. No, they never do. Clenches her jaws? Her jaw, singular. She barely spits this out. She rises from her hand and leaves the house without another word. What's crawled up her ass and died? Must you speak of ass at the table? You're only mad because you don't get any. Cassandra cackles. The two sisters begin an argument, but you're still stuck on Daniela's abrupt departure. Alcina seems similarly struck by the action. Her shoulders are tense and she lets go of your hand to reach for another glass of wine. She'll come around, but even as you say the words, they feel like a hollow truth. You once helped Alcina repair her relationship with Daniela, and now you've ruined it once more. You feel awful. Alcina doesn't say anything to you. You sit down and enjoy the ashen taste of your hard-won dinner spot at the Dimitrescu table. When the new semester starts, you're hurt to find out Daniela requested a room change. She's no longer going to be your roommate, and she's taken Angie with her. You try not to let it bother you, but the dorm feels empty without them. Instead, you're assigned Elena as your roommate, though you never even see her. If not for the lingering scent of coffee in the apartment, you wouldn't even think she ever existed. You suppose the reactions are fair. You hurt Daniela and probably Angie with your callous way of handling things, but love changed everything, and it changed Alcina too. One evening after your spring semester classes found you and Alcina pondering the issue of the cult again. She was in a particularly foul mood that evening, fueled by something Mother Miranda had done and exacerbated by the 2 bottles of wine she drank. I give her everything, and this is how she repays me. With deceit and lies. You try to calm her down. Listen to me. We can help each other. You need to tell her you're leaving the cult. It's not that simple. I've already told you that, and if I tell her I'm leaving, then she'll come after everything I hold dear. The only way to get out would be to plan to run, taking everyone with me. Then we run. Whenever you're ready. You hold her hand in yours, stroking soothing circles down the back of it. Her temper begins to flare and then cool down. After a while, Alcina curls her hand under your chin. Thank you, my dear. You keep me level-headed. After a few grateful kisses, you have no choice but to head back to campus to finish your work for class. The dorm is dark and empty without your usual roommates. Truly, you miss the obnoxious music coming from Angie's room or the constant alcohol fumes from her. You even miss Daniela's messy clothes on the floor and the loud chortling of her and her skater friends when they come over. However, it turns out, today the dorm is not as empty as previously thought. A figure in black sits at the table. She's wearing an odd priestess-like outfit with gold detail, but you know who it is from the painting you've seen of her. Mother Miranda. Your heart races in your chest. Mother Miranda rises from the table and begins to circle you as you stand frozen in fear. It seems a snake has gotten into my lovely garden and is whispering its poison words into someone's ear. Your hands tremble before you can even utter a plea. Something jabs you in the back of your neck and you fall to the ground. Ugh. An artist of your own making. Extra credit assignment 3. Why have you done this? An angry yet hurt voice asks. Slowly your consciousness returns and you peel open your eyes with difficulty. Your limbs feel heavy and when you try to move them, you find you can't. You look down and see you are tied to a chair. Chains sway nearby, squeaking rustily. You know why I've done this, a calm voice replies. You look into the dark of the room, squinting to try and see what's going on. There is a lone light bulb that illuminates the space just barely. You can make out gold glimmering nearby. Miranda. Miranda kidnapped you from your dorm. She had to have tied you up here. The angry person is Alcina. She towers over Miranda, seething with anger. You open your mouth and try to say something, but it feels too dry. It feels heavy as if rocks are there. You don't have the strength to do more than keep one eye propped open and watch the scene. They were distracting you, turning you away from me. You were the one turning me away from you. All I've done for you, and you don't even care. I thought I was important to you. Miranda clicks her tongue as if Alcina was a misbehaving child. See, they have poisoned you, made you think of things about my actions that are not true. It's why we must cut out the rot. I refuse to. Then you can watch. Oh my god, she's about to murder me. Miranda turns her back to Alcina, pulling out what appears to be a very long knife. Miranda should not have turned her back. With a snarl, Alcina whirls her around by the shoulder. Get your hands off me! Stay away from them! Miranda swipes at Alcina, and Alcina reaches out in retaliation, hand closing around Miranda's neck in an effort to subdue her. Alcina's head hits the naked light bulb and light sways erratically, grunts of struggling hitting your ears. You close your eyes against the nauseating flickering of the light, and when you open them you see and then hear the thud of the body as it falls to the ground. There is a patter of blood that drips down, the light bulb coming to a slow stop and casting shadows across Alcina's face. Her hair is mussed, and there is horror and fury on her face, chest heaving with adrenaline. Her hand is pressed against the side where the handle of the knife sticks out. At her feet lies Miranda's body, still, black and blue bruises around her neck. Her eyes stare up, unblinking. Alcina lets out a frustrated sob. But she doesn't have the time to grieve, doesn't have time to understand the ramifications of her actions quite yet. She stumbles over to you and frees you from your ties. You slump off the chair, unable to sustain yourself. Even with her wounded side, she lifts you up into her arms, holding you tightly to her. Donna will know what to do. The last thing you hear before darkness pulls you in once more. Donna. You wake up in a dark room a few hours later, the ticking of the clock filling the silence. You sit up, grateful to be able to move your body again. It still feels weak, but whatever was in your system is gone. You feel your way through the dark to the sliver of light through the slightly open door. You squint against the brightness, finding Alcina sitting with her shoulders slumped at a table with Donna, the florist. The two steaming mugs of tea sit between them. I don't know what will happen now, Donna. Alcina laments and winces as she pulls a muscle in her side. It's bandaged up, but spots of blood fleck it. Donna holds her hand, giving a wordless support. Miranda is gone, and with it, the wrath of her entire cult is on our head. We'll manage. We have to. Your voice is raspy, but it draws both of their attention. Alcina looks haggard, but there are bags under her eyes. It won't be easy. And she's right. The ramifications of all this are too much to think about right now. Who knows what the future will hold, but you have a feeling that as long as the two of you are together, nothing will be impossible. I'm counting on it. And Alcina offers you a tired but small smile. Wow, what an ending. That was amazing. That got pretty spicy. This one got pretty spicy. The other ones didn't quite get as spicy, but this one I got a little spicy. I didn't change my lights before I started this, and also my lighting has changed because the sun has begun to set, as it is now 5 o'clock. And I recorded this for about an hour and 41 minutes. So that's good. That's not, it's not too terribly long. Anyway. Wow. That was quite the ending there. And I have so much I haven't done. Okay. There's a lot left to this game. Like, I still have like 4 at least other like paths to take in this. Write down in the comments which path you think I should take, if I should go for grades or go into theater next and go with Cassandra. Let me know. I love it. I love this game. It's so great. It's like my favorite thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like if you like and subscribe if you want to see more. I will be uploading every day from December 1st to Christmas on the 25th, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye!